This is the solar house my grandfather built here in Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Beautiful snowy day. And these bottom two rows are just glass that go into the greenhouse, but these top two rows are black aluminum foil, and then you can see how there's kind of lines in there, and there's a fan that blows the warm heated air underneath the glass through a piping system. And I'll go inside and show you that in a second. And that blows all the hot air that collects in there down into the basement, and some of it goes into a rock bed for storage. And actually on even if it's kind of cold and snowy, around 30 degrees like it is now, it'll heat the house for probably about 2 days off of just the sun that hits us, even if it only gets maybe about a couple hours of sun the previous day. And does a really good job heating the house. My grandfather gets really cold in there, and so he likes a house at around 80. This will do all of that. It's pretty amazing how well it works. And so of course we have now propane heater as backup, but this works surprisingly well. I'll show you the equipment upstairs and downstairs in just a second. Just want to take another shot here real quick before we go in and just zoom in, see if y'all can kind of see how those panels work. It's kind of hard to see, but he designed this house in '82. Put some snow off the roof. It's a fairly large house, and it's all heated by just those top two solar panels. Okay, here we are in the loft of the house, and here's where the windows go down in the greenhouse in the front, like I showed you. Nicely designed house. He designed it himself. And this flat area is where the solar panels exist, and here's the air intake. And there's a fan in the basement, and it'll take all that heated air and store some of it in an underground rock bed, and some of it to go throughout the house and heat it. And it works surprisingly really well. The house is really warm right now. Okay, here we are in the basement, which has a room, a little bathroom, and all that good stuff. And then here's the underbelly of the solar house. And in case anybody's wondering what my grandfather did for a living, he was a engineer at Northrop Grumman, and helped design the lunar landing module, hence the retro space age look. But it's all surprisingly simple. And one thing I forgot to mention is that the solar also heats the hot water. So when we're here, we try to take really short showers, because obviously the hot water draws a lot more heat than the hot air. And so the heat that comes up there powers this, and it also comes up through the floorboards, the specially designed floor, and up through vents in the floor that heat the entire house. And so my grandfather actually has these things labeled to make it pretty easy to figure out here. So this is to the house from the storage, which means from the rock bed, and the rock bed is here behind this wall. And this is to the house from the collector. So the collector comes in from those tubes in the ceiling like I showed you before, passes through there to heat the water as well. And grab this light over here. Here's the fan that draws all the air from the collector up at the top of the house, from out I showed you outside, and blows it through here. And this is to storage from collector, so that goes right into the rock bed behind that wall. So that's the excess warm air. and to the house from the collector, which goes up here through the piping system and goes up to the vents in the floor on the first floor. And then to house from storage, and that comes out from the rock bed back here. Whenever the sun is not shining, the hot air comes from the rock bed. And that's pretty much your whole system right there. Really brilliant design, and it will keep this house heated incredibly well. You keep it at about 80 degrees for 2 days on maybe about 4 hours worth of sunshine, and it doesn't matter what the temperature is. It just collects that heat from the sun, and it's an amazing system.